Hey there, Doodlebug friends. So I wanted to pop on. I'm going to do a quick video finishing up this really great and fun brag book. But I wanted to share kind of where I got started with it because Kaylin over at the Doodlebug got started with the book a little bit. And so I wanted to cover the parts that wouldn't be in my video and kind of what she had already done. Basically, she had already assembled the book itself. So she's got all the pages already in here. What I'm gonna do is just go through and sort of take my handy dandy bone folder and push down the pages a little bit, just sort of get them folded in a little bit tighter. And then I'm gonna start my way through those instructions. The instructions are included in this kit for how to put the book together itself and everything. So that's already done. The instructions are already in there. So that part is good to go. And then I am just ready to get started with the book and go from there. So catch the rest of the video. So I'm going to kind of narrate here what I'm doing. I actually thought I only got a couple minutes of this part recorded, and it ended up I did get the whole process recorded. Basically, this took me, so what I'm showing you here is that piece, the black part of that should have gone under the red background piece, but I just decided I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to glue it down. So one important thing I want to talk about here is adhesive. And adhesive is very important for the outside. When you're making a book especially, the outside of a book really needs to have a strong glue. So the red line tape, that's what they call it, works really well. And what you're going to see me using is kind of like a zip dry type glue, and I'm going to show that to you at one point here. But in particular, that strap piece was not quite put together right, so you see me mess with it a little bit. And that brings up another point I want to tell you about. The instructions for the foam. The foam goes at the bottom and the top of that little piece. So what you're going to notice in this video, there's a couple pages that I don't get done quite exactly like the instructions show. And that is because the instructions don't really tell you where on a paper to cut out certain pieces. So sometimes I had used a piece that it wanted me to use or a section that it wanted me to use already without realizing I needed to cut out a different part of the paper to use later. So one suggestion for that would be to go through, there's the glue that I'm using, and I'm going to show it to you, I think, here in a minute. But it is similar to that zip dry. It has that really strong smell to it, but it does dry very quickly. It's kind of gooey and messy to get used to at first, but in the end, it works pretty well. It does dry like I said, very fast. So it's easy to use for things like this. I don't use it for the entire book, just things that are going to go on the outside of the book where it's going to get more use and abuse, if you will, where it's going to have more exposure, get messed with more. Those things really need that strong adhesive. Again, a wet glue works well. The red line tape and score tape is the other one. Score tape is a white tape, but it is also a very, very strong, good adhesive to use for putting together a book, construction of a book, and on the outside. Again, you're going to see me pause at places because I thought I had stopped recording, so I apologize for that. Like I said, I thought I had 2 minutes recorded and I had 2 hours recorded. So I did speed this up as well. If you hadn't noticed that already, I don't actually move that fast, even though I sometimes talk that fast. I don't actually move as quickly as you see me moving in this video. So some cutting instructions would have been nice with the PhotoPlay, so I knew. I think that ends up being one of the papers that I could have done a little better. What you saw me do there with the pencil, I actually used that paper and cut the corner out. You're going to see it there. I cut the corner, or I'm going to cut the corner off of that piece of paper and use that to cover the little angled piece. I figured why waste that piece of the part of the paper that's going to be under that pocket? Why not just, there you go. There you can see where I had cut an angled piece out of the corner of there. So that I can use that on the book, and then there's my angled piece to cover the pocket. It's the same, I used that same square of paper and just cut out that piece. So, and you'll see that inside the book here, I'm just using my ATG gun, just like I would use for any other scrapbook page inside. There, what I'm doing is adding some baby powder to the corner of that sticker, so that the part that's not adhered directly to the paper isn't sticky, so we can stick stuff down into that pocket. There I am looking at what pieces I wanted and didn't want in there, so you can hear that. If you hear sounds that sound like the chipmunks, I apologize. I'm trying to get rid of those, but I'm not sure how that's going to work, so. Don't know what I'm doing now. I'm probably dealing with a kid or, oh, no, there I am. I'm measuring something. Oh, I'm cutting here. I'm measuring to kind of make this into a tag, using my little tiny sewing ruler to do that. And that works really well. So. And then I just use scissors to kind of cut that off. So we'll get to that, and there, so there you can see I kind of made a tag shape and that into the book. Now I'm picking, so this paper right here, that's one where that's not the paper that the instructions say to put there, but I couldn't find the paper that it wanted there. It was the corner of a back of another piece, and I couldn't figure that out. So I didn't use the right paper to cover page 2 or whatever you want to call that there. But that's okay. Now I've gone somewhere else. I'll be back soon, I'm sure. I absolutely love this book. I love this paper collection. I don't know if you have done this in your life, but I actually purchased this paper collection twice by accident. I've done that with a few things here and there in my scrapbooking life, so I'm sure I'm not the only one. But in particular, there's a couple things I really love about this particular collection. I love the plaid, what I would call a Burberry type plaid look. Paper. I just absolutely love that. There's also a card with the word Friends on it that sort of looks like Friends from the TV show, and I love that card as well. I think there might be a sticker with the same kind of Friends icon on it. So now I'm doing something. Oh, I was trying to figure out the paper. That's what I was doing. I was trying to find that paper. What I should have done is like trimmed a piece of this paper to use at the top, so you could just, because you can only see the top of it by the time I put another piece over it and the whole thing, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Should be back. There I am. See, there you go. There's another piece that goes over the bottom of it, so you can't really see that bottom section anyway. I don't know why I needed a whole sheet of paper there, but whatever. You could also make that a pocket. That would look really cute if you wanted to add things or do things different. That would be a really cute look. And that uses just a little bit of the red sticker strip from the page. And then the fabulous sticker, I believe. Then I did pop that up with foam. The foam is just, I use a roll of foam tape. And I just cut off little pieces as I go. I have used other things here and there as far as foam adhesive goes. And I kind of always find myself going back to the big rolls of foam tape. So, I don't know. It's just a thing. I do really like, they make the little round ones now that have kind of tabs to remove the backing, and I really like those round foam pieces, but I was kind of running low, so I kept them for my own project instead of one that was going back to the store. That's terrible, isn't it? Oh well. So this album has lots of great little flips and moving parts. There's lots of places you could tuck things, photos, you could tuck memorabilia. It would make a great little album to make for a friend. Or almost like as a card. It's a little thick to mail, but you could put it in a little box and mail it pretty easily. But it would be really neat to do. It also has a great color scheme. So it's not particularly girly. So many times I think we end up doing scrapbooking things and they turn out all girly. You know, they're pinks and blues and purples because that's what we as women generally like. But this one has lots of red, lots of blue. It does have some florals, but, you know, I think it would lend well even to a male friend a lot of the time. Or like, it wouldn't bother me to use it for a guy if I had a good close guy friend that I wanted to make something for. So, and the instructions are, for the most part, really, really good and easy to follow. Like I said, I just wish they kind of went through at the beginning how to cut everything. That would be helpful. I'm one that likes to cut everything kind of at the beginning and then assemble, but maybe that's just me. Maybe that's what I'm used to, but I do like that. So I struggled with this a little bit in kind of going back and, oh, well, where's that piece? Where's that piece? And trying to look ahead in the instructions and figure out which cards I needed and which parts of the back of the B side of the paper I could use for mats and things like that. So, like I said, if you are in the store, the one that you'll see there is just a little bit different than the instructions, but nothing crazy different. Everything's in essentially the same order in the same place. It may just have a few different paper choices here and there. I think I used a different card in one of the spots. Just because I kind of liked a different one a little better. You do also end up with a little bit of leftover, so you could certainly make a couple cards out of what's left over in this kit. A lot of the sticker sheet, there was a good amount of stickers left on the sticker sheet that could be used. There you see me having to change my ATG adhesive roll. I think for some reason I had trouble finding the beginning. Do you ever do that? Have trouble finding where the ATG starts? So, I don't know. I'm a fairly pro at changing my ATG by this point, but every once in a while I still have a struggle. I usually blame it on the particular roll of adhesive. It's not my fault. I'm just good, right? So I'm sure it's not me. I don't know what I'm messing with there. Oh, something with a sticker. I think I'm putting foam. Yeah, I'm putting foam on a sticker. I actually ended up moving that sticker, I think. Maybe not. That blue strip there actually isn't adhered all the way down, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of tuck something in behind it. I liked that in the instructions. They, a couple times, had a couple of those that aren't really a full pocket exactly, but are sort of a tuck spot, I think is what they called them in there. version of the video. So that was kind of neat. And this book is really cool in the way that it has pockets. So these brag books are actually available from PhotoPlay on their own. And then you can use any other paper line. It just so happens that they provided instructions for this paper collection and a good way to use it with the brag book. So that's sort of a neat thing to have and a neat option. I like that graffiti paper that you can see kind of down there as well. I think it's really very cute. Well, I've apparently left the building. No, not really. Again, I thought my video wasn't recording, so I probably went, who knows what. Maybe I made dinner, I'm not sure. No, I didn't. I wouldn't have been gone for more than a minute or two, so, you know, a minute or two goes pretty quick when you have it at 4 times the speed. So I do have kind of a picture of the book sort of splayed open that I'll show at the end of the video. And you can sort of see it. The instructions for the book, if you have this kit, do have a lot of really good pictures. It was a little confusing some of the time knowing which page they were talking about, but easy enough because they all look a little different. The other thing I figured out at the end is because of the way the pages are constructed, the pages themselves you could actually use as a pocket. If you seal the bottom of the page, they kind of fold over. And so if you put adhesive along the bottom, when you fold them together, you could use the whole page as a pocket for something big, like some big photos or something. I don't know that you'll see me play with that at the end, but I thought it was really neat. So I liked that a lot about it. So I'm back. I just saw myself grab something, but I don't know what I'm doing. There I am. See, I told you I was going to move that sticker. I don't know why. I just liked it better up there. So I moved it. Oh, because the little red heart, you couldn't see it. It disappeared into the background of that red floral. And so I moved the sticker with the little red heart attached. That's why I did that. That mat was supposed to be something different. I think it was supposed to, maybe. But I didn't have that, so it's blue. And I couldn't figure out if it was supposed to go sideways or up and down because it wants that floral piece, and it's a 3x4 mat, but it wanted that floral piece along the bottom. So I still wanted you to be able to get at least most of like a 3x4 photo in there, so that's why I did that. That's what I was messing with, like back and forth, trying to figure out. The other thing here, I'm using baby powder on the back of the sticker, but I'm only peeling off, so this is kind of a nifty trick. I'm only peeling off part of the backing paper from my foam tape. I actually kind of cut it and tore it down the center so that the part that overlaps the photo mat isn't sticky. So you can still stick your photo down in underneath that floral piece because there's still paper on that foam tape. I thought I was pretty smart. I love it when I'm smart. So that piece was just a partial piece, but it doesn't matter because it's going into a pocket. One suggestion I will make, if you're sticking something down inside a pocket, like those angled pockets at the beginning or that one right there with the blue floral, be sure that you put a lot of adhesive at the bottom of the paper so that it doesn't catch, so it stays stuck down really well. Okay, there I was making myself a note that there needed to be a card that went in there, but I was going to wait till the end and decide what card. And I do that again with something else. I make myself a post-it that says like photo mat, and I'm going to go back. That white piece that I just had there with like the black chandelier type printing, that is one of the papers that confused me. So the other area towards the bottom of that sheet is mostly white and sort of has a very vague floral pattern to it. But I didn't figure that out until it was too late, and I'd actually already used some of the back of it, like where it was plaid, the plaid paper. I had used that. And because I'd used the plaid already, or cut the plaid, I didn't have the white paper to use where it wanted the white. But the book turned out really good and really cute, and I love it anyway. You know, if I had done it, it probably would have just been all the plaid, because I love the plaid just so much. I just was crazy about it. Also, you know, I currently have a stitching problem. I stitch on just about every layout that I make, so probably would have put some stitching somewhere too, which would look great. I did go back at the very end and put some in those tags. I did punch holes in the tags, so they are actual tags, and I put some raffia through the holes in the tags. I just thought that added kind of a neat look. Jute twine would look really cool too. I don't know. I just thought the raffia kind of added a rougher look, and it was fun. So I would use that too on anything that you stick in the pages. You know how I said you could make pockets out of the pages, the big pages themselves? I would stick some jute or raffia or whatever ribbon, whatever you're using, on there too, just so that you can, makes it more obvious that pulls out, that's something to grab. Or it moves, makes it more obvious. See, I just love that plaid. It's just so cute. So, so, so cute. There was part of the instructions. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next, I think. That's okay. I'll be back. My trimmers also are around on the other side of my table. So anytime I need to trim something, I have to like move around the table, like stand up and move around. So I don't have my scrap room set up quite mastered yet. I like the way that it works, but that's one reason that cutting at the beginning works better for me, is because my trimmer's on another part of my table. I have the big Caterpillar trimmer, the big 12 by 12 one, so it doesn't like move around on my desk very easily. I like leaving it in one place. I kind of have my trash can right there, so I can just trim and toss and whatever. There's the other place where I used a Post-it until I was done deciding what I wanted. There's another, I stuck down the edge of that banner type strip, the end, but not the part that's going to be over where my photo mat goes. I think that photo mat might have been a different color too. And I'm not sure that sticker. I think maybe I used something different for this sticker. Oh, no, I didn't. That's what it says to do. My foam is a little too wide. You can't see it, but I go in with my scissors and have to trim a little bit out off the edge of the sticker there. I did the same thing there and didn't take off the tape, the backing on the tape where that sticks over. Almost done. That was my sneaky, almost done sneak peek for you. Only have a couple more pages to finish up here, and then we'll be good to go. So that chandelier paper, I know, was different. So I end up using the plaid for one of those, I think, because it wanted something else there. And I keep like putting it in, and then it's not quite the right size, and I have to go trim it and then come back again. I don't really know. It's okay. Sometimes when you get close to the end of a project, it's like, oh, I just want to be done. And I think I just wanted to be done at this point. So I was just like, oh, whatever paper I have left, it'll be fine. That camera, I love that camera. And they had used it, oh, where that best friend sticker is there right next to the red mat, they had used that camera. But for me, it kind of disappeared in there and I didn't like it. So I actually fussy cut out that camera and pop it up on foam. And I thought I was going to use it on that flower page, but I ended up using it, I think, where the best friends thing is, over there by the red mat. I definitely love that camera. I'm a sucker for a camera. See, I'm trying to figure out where it can go. I fussy cut it all out, and then it just doesn't look quite right anywhere. But I love it so much. I don't want to not use it, so I don't know. I'm a mess sometimes. I know, you probably knew that already. That's okay. So I had those little letters cut out. There's the mat. But it needed some blue. There wasn't really any blue yet in this kind of section of the book. And then I had a little phrase that I fussy cut out of one of the cards. And again, I just didn't take the paper off the foam tape in that section. There I just made a mark where I needed to cut that, so I knew my measurement. And this is just about done. Put that camera up there because I'm like, I'm going to use this camera. I'm going to use it. I just don't know where. So that back section, the back page has a pocket like the front page did. So that I'm going to do the same thing I did on the front. I mark it, I cut off the corner, and then I flip the paper over and use the back so that I'm not wasting any of the paper. I was surprised at how great this album looks, and it doesn't use, you know, a ton of paper. I mean, it uses some, certainly, but I think there were like 4 or 5 papers, and that was it, maybe. So it ends up being a pretty frugal use of paper, which I always like. So I don't know why, but I'm a person who likes feeling like I have plenty of product. I like very frugal when it comes to a lot of projects that I do. This one was really neat. It used most of this 4x6 card with a big, like that one right there with the brackety looking thing on it. And I really like the way that particular page turned out. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, to the top and bottom, but it doesn't really matter. It just looks great. It's a beautifully designed card, and it looks really pretty. Like it. So I'm measuring, looking at the instructions to try to figure out those measurements again. Also, one of those pages, there weren't instructions in the book. I think it's this one. It didn't really have. So there, I turned it over to draw my marks, so I knew exactly where to cut. There, I just cut. Now I'm erasing where I had marks. And again, because I'm putting that angled part down in the pocket, I put tons of adhesive right on that angled edge and tucked that in. And I realized that I just did that wrong and wanted the black and white paper on the pocket, but I wanted the floral paper. So now I'm just rubbing my adhesive off of the floral side. making a big mess on my desk. Okay, it cleans up. And yeah, I had a lot of adhesive on there, so it takes me a long time to rub that all off. Sorry about that. And just imagine, it actually took 4 times this long. So there you go. Now I'm putting adhesive on the correct side, tucking it in, trying to get it straight, and I still had not cut it quite right. So there I go in with a craft knife and a ruler and kind of just cut along that edge gently. So I just went through the color or the pattern paper. And really that's about it. I think I'm gonna spend a couple minutes kind of flipping through the book, maybe doing, oh, that's gonna get embellishments, floral piece, and then it says you and me, and I'm taking my powder and putting it on the sections of the sticker that's gonna be out off the edge of the pocket. Then the ampersand I'm gonna do with foam tape, and then the word you and the word me, I'm just kind of tucking in behind the ampersand. It makes a cool looking little piece on there in the end. It looks like it was put there and not like something you put together, which I thought was really cool. Now I'm going to go finish those mats and get that all done. Maybe? Oh, I'm picking another card to put in pockets. Going back and like figuring out where I need pockets and mats and things like that. There's the Friends card that I said I love, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about this paper collection is that card right there. And I wanted to use it, but it's too big. It won't fit anywhere. I measured it, it was too wide. This is where I figure out that I think, oh, I also needed to cover that black piece on the back. I used that sticker. Does it do a perfect job? No, but it does look intentional there. I think I'm getting my hole punch. I had to find it. There it is. And maybe I'm trying to decide if I wanted twine or what I was going to go get. There's my raffia. Makes a huge mess on my desk. Sorry about that. If you don't like a mess, look away. Look away. I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to make a big, big mess. See, I don't know. There's something I just liked about the rough look of that raffia. I really thought it was fun. Now I'm going in and picking something to go in that pocket and picking a mat for that photo. And that is going to be just about the end of it. So Hannah, I believe, still has stuff to make this kit. If you're interested, I think she can still get a hold of it for you. So just get with Hannah at the Doodlebug in Jasper, Indiana. Thanks so much for watching this video, and it's probably going to cut off on me here, and I didn't want to miss